Legendary musician Mike Mangini is currently the lead drummer for world-famous heavy metal band Dream Theater. But his path to the top was anything but straight. He spent the 1980s as a software engineer, practicing constantly on the drums at night and on the weekends, daydreaming of a big career in music with little hope of achieving his goal. Then something changed. When other drummers in a shared practice space began asking him to give them lessons, their requests gave Mike a newfound confidence. If so many people thought he had a special talent, maybe he did. So Mike quit his day job and devoted himself full-time to drumming. Today, he's one of the best-known drummers in the business, and he attributes his success in no small part to being asked to give other people advice. Mike's story suggests that maybe giving advice does real good for the advice giver, not just the receiver, as most of us assume. Psychologist Lauren Eskris-Winkler developed this hunch a few years ago and has run a number of ingenious tests to probe its validity. For example, Lauren, Dina Gromay, Angela Duckworth, and I ran a massive experiment with nearly 2,000 students across 7 Florida high schools at the start of a new school term. All the students walked into a computer lab, but some simply filled out a few short digital questionnaires, while others were invited to do something unusual. All their lives, these students had been receiving others' advice about how to achieve academic success. But today, they were asked for their advice in helping their younger peers. In an online survey, they were peppered with questions such as, "What helps you avoid procrastinating?" and "Where do you go to do focused studying?" And they knew their younger peers would get to learn their answers. After completing these surveys, students were left to their own devices for the remainder of the academic term. At the end of the marking period, we checked their grades in the class they'd said was most important to them, as well as their grades in math. Amazingly, the students who had been randomly assigned to give just a few minutes of advice to their peers performed better in these classes than other students. In interviews conducted for her dissertation, Lauren Eskris-Winkler had noticed that when asked, underperformers of all kinds had a surprising knack for dredging up tips that could help people like them succeed. Much like Mike Mangini, their issue often wasn't ignorance, but self-confidence. Lauren's continued research has supported this conclusion, as being asked to give advice conveys to people that more is expected of them, which boosts their motivation and presumably their confidence. We also tailor the advice we give based on personal experience, so we tell people to do what we ourselves would find useful. And after contemplating advice and offering it to others, we would feel hypocritical if we didn't then try it ourselves. So in your own life, if you're hoping to help others achieve more, focus less on giving unsolicited advice, which sends the deflating message that the person you're talking to can't handle a situation on their own, and instead, give others the chance to share tips. Also, consider forming an advice club, a group of people whose members regularly consult one another for help. As you provide and receive solicited advice, you'll boost one another's confidence and unearth ideas that help you with your own problems. Another simple suggestion is to turn advice giving inside out when you're facing a challenge. Ask yourself, if a friend or colleague were struggling with the same problem, what advice would I offer? Taking this perspective may help you approach the same problem with greater confidence and insight.